Salams and welcome. Juma Mubarak. It's a Friday. I'm presenting 30 solutions to make South Africa a beautiful land. This is an open letter to all South Africans. We are busy today with now point number 15. 30 problems, 30 solutions. Problem number 15. And the solution, this one is called the spirituality principle, the 10 commandments. You don't have to be a Muslim or a Christian to know what are the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments are in the Bible, and I think they are fascinating. This is a Christian majority country, and that is why I'm focusing on the 10 commandments. If we want to solve the problems of this country, we need to embrace religion. Please, we need to become religious people. We need to think of God all the time. That's the only way we're going to get South Africa right. So very briefly, the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments are interesting principles that can be embraced by people of different faiths. You don't have to be a Christian to understand the value of the 10 commandments. It makes a lot of sense. It's very logical. The 10 commandments are very, very logical. If you don't follow the 10 commandments, you're going to get problems like what you're facing in South Africa. If you follow the 10 commandments, you get rid of crime, corruption, HIV-AIDS, all of that by the 10 commandments, and I'll prove it to you. So stay tuned. If this is a Christian majority country, I often wonder why most of the people are not following the 10 commandments. If you're a Christian, I'm talking to you. You know, when last did you read the Bible? When last did you go to church? If you're a Muslim, when last did you read the Quran? When last did you go to mosque? Don't just take the knowledge, you must implement it into your life. If a dedicated believer sincerely follows even a few of the sacred commandments, then we would see a drastic drop in some of the problems that are plaguing us as South Africans. We must have religion and God consciousness, awareness that we are accountable to our Creator, the most merciful Supreme Creator who created me and created you. Otherwise, if we don't do that, crime, corruption, fraud, murder, rape, promiscuity, sexually transmitted diseases, and dishonesty will continue. If you forget God, then crime increases. The fact that crime is increasing in this country is because we have forgotten God. We need to become religious people again, please. We need to become a moral nation, an ethical nation, people with personal integrity, like the values instilled in all of us by our forefathers. Technology does not give us the permission to lose our morals, ethics, our character, our manners, and our values. Even though the 10 commandments are Christian commandments, there are similar parallels in Islam, and that is why I love the 10 commandments. According to the Quran, the people nearest to the Muslims are the Christians. Christians and Muslims are like this, according to the Quran. In chapter 5, verse 82 of the Quran, you read, "And nearest among them in love to the believers will thou find those who say, 'We are Christians,' because amongst these are men devoted to learning, and men who have renounced the world, and they are not arrogant." You find that about Christians. You notice that the Afrikaners, all of them, they are not arrogant people. They are good, humble people. Okay? Hence, as a Muslim, I am pleased with the 10 commandments because of the very high moral and ethical values that they espouse. If our youth can embrace these values, then we can then we can hopefully see a huge reduction in teenage pregnancies, sexually transmitted diseases, HIV-AIDS. As doctors, we're seeing AIDS all the time. We are seeing sexually transmitted diseases all the time. People are not taking precautions. Teenage pregnancies. You get married, sex before marriage, you become pregnant, your whole life is destroyed. So I don't know what is going on with our youth of today. If we follow the 10 commandments, we can see a huge reduction in teenage pregnancies, sexually transmitted diseases, HIV/AIDS, murder, rape, and crime. Remember that our teenagers will be taking up position in government in the next 20 or 30 years. The same teenagers that you're looking at today with acne on their face, tomorrow they're going to be in government. So what kind of people are we raising up? If we got Mampara teenagers, we're going to have Mampara people in government. Right? So we need to ask ourselves, are the teenagers that we look around, the ones who are qualifying in school, are they Mampara people or are they clever people? Because tomorrow they're going to be in government. What kind of government are we going to have? So please, we need to educate our teens. If every Christian in this country follows these basic commands and Muslims follow their code of life according to the Quran and the Sunnah, even if they do not know the whole Bible, even if you don't know the whole Bible, just take this 10, let's look at just the 10 commandments. And only from there, let's just look at the 3 or 4. The entire South African society can be changed for the better. Let us ponder over a few of these verses. The first commandment, let us look. Commandment number 5 says, honor thy father and mother. We must respect our elderly. Look at people with white hair, respect them. It is very rude and disrespectful to insult the president or senior members of parliament. We can agree to disagree, but do it with respect. Where are the people with good manners? I don't see them. Very few people there. 90% don't have manners. 10% still have good manners. Where is the honorable culture that I encounter with growing up of the people of this land? The whole world is watching us. No one can escape the media eye. Honor means to love and respect those in authority, especially the elderly in our society. When you honor your parents, you love and obey them because they are wiser than you. They may not look intelligent, but they have seen the difficulties of life. We can learn so much from those who were born in the 60s. Right. Next commandment is commandment number 6. Very important. Bible of the 10 commandments. Commandment number 6 says, thou shalt not kill. This is not a joke. This is a commandment from God. Don't kill. So if this is a Christian country, why do we have the highest crime rate in the world? It doesn't make sense to me. As jy 'n Christian like 'n man of vrou is in hierdie land, die wit, die swart, die Indian, die Malay, almal, die coloreds almal. Why don't we follow this commandment number 6 which says, thou shalt not kill? Because one day you're going to die, you're going to stand in front of God, and God says, I gave you a command not to kill. I'm talking to everyone in this land. Why did you kill people? Just follow the commandment. It's very easy. Follow it. Don't just read it. Follow it. God wants us to protect human life. If everyone lives by this commandment, our murder, crime, and rape statistics can come down. I have included rape under thou shalt not kill because rape causes an emotional death of the woman. Many of the women undergo post-traumatic stress disorder for the rest of their life. What is commandment number 7? Commandment number 7 says, thou shalt not commit adultery. This means husbands and wives should be faithful to one another. Most of the religions, whether it's Christianity or Islam, they prohibit premarital sex. Don't have sex before marriage. But why do our youngsters have sex before marriage? Islam says don't have sex before marriage, but Muslims are having sex before marriage, some of them. Christianity says don't have sex before marriage, but Christians are having sex before marriage. Why? Are we taking our religious scriptures as a joke? Is religion a joke? God is going to ask you a question one day, so what are you going to answer God? We need to reflect on our personal errors and encourage the youth to follow a sublime path. If we can inculcate in our teenagers to stay away from sex, stay away from alcohol, and stay away from drugs, then we can reduce teenage pregnancy. I feel sorry for the suffering of the people in this country. The people are suffering. Please, let's get our things sorted out. If we do that, we can reduce teenage pregnancies, we can reduce STDs, we can reduce HIV-AIDS and other social problems, which doctors see in our regular place, in our GP practice. We see this all the time. But this advice starts at home, then at school, then on public billboards and social media. It has become fashionable to abstain, but we cannot force everyone. But we can certainly encourage people to make the right choices. Unplanned pregnancies and HIV-AIDS are life and death choices which are not fair for the youngsters under the age of 18 years. You got your whole life ahead of you. When a girl gets pregnant, the boyfriend's running away, you don't get him. You're going to sit with that baby not for 9 months, for the rest of your life as a single mother. The brain of a teenager is still developing until the age of 25 years, and deep wisdom only comes after the age of 40 years. How on earth can we expect a 14-year-old to cope with a unplanned pregnancy because she had sex? Please, let's stop all of this. How can we allow teenagers to indulge in sex and alcohol at exam over parties when pens down parties actually mean pens down parties? Please, let's stop all of this nonsense. The government must have the same urgency as we had about the COVID. We must have TV announcements and updates addressing the youth in our country. We need to remind our teenagers about studying hard, working hard, reading, seek education, have good manners, have respect, and warn them about the dangers of drugs, alcohol, smoking, and promiscuity in the same way that we were vigilant about COVID-19. Margaret Mead has this to say: there is no greater insight into the future than recognizing that when we save our children, we save ourselves. Commandment number 8, thou shalt not steal. So if we're a Christian country, why do we have such high crime in this country? Why aren't the pastors talking from the church? Why aren't the imams talking? Why aren't the priests talking from the church? This is a Christian majority country. There should be no stealing. If you're a Christian, and I'm talking to the blacks, whites, Indians, colors, whoever, if you're a Christian, you cannot steal. You are not allowed to steal. This law is self-explanatory. No one should be allowed to take something that belongs to another human being. The person who shot me, black African man, Christian man, why did he shoot me? He's not allowed to shoot me. If he's a Christian, he is not supposed to come into my house. He's not supposed to come into your house. He shot my friend and killed him. Amu, may Allah grant me Jannah. He shot my cousin Polakwani. So please stop coming into our homes. Stop shooting us. Stop killing us. Follow the Bible. Follow the 10 Commandments. This is the basic law of any civil society. If anybody takes something unlawfully, that is crime, hijacking, burglaries, white-collar crime, stop all the scams. Stop the Ponzi scams. Stop the pyramid scams. Stop the scams, online fake scams. Stop all of the scams. God is watching. Then this is morally and ethically wrong and is tantamount to injustice. The rule of law must be very firm on this. Very quickly, Commandment 10, thou shalt not covet. That means don't be promiscuous. Don't covet thy neighbor's wife and don't be promiscuous. This is a basic cause of many problems in society. General lesson, live by some firm moral and ethical principles that are unshakable. Embrace a moral compass to determine the difference between right. Have a moral compass. Have a moral compass. This is right. This is wrong. Finish. Must have a red line. This is right. This is wrong. There's no gray area. You can't be half pregnant. Okay? Whatever religion you are following, extract the highest standards of a morally upright way of conducting your life. And remember that the Supreme Creator has created all of us and we are all going to return to Him. The Quran tells us in chapter 12, verses 39 to 40, are many lords differing among themselves better, or the one God, supreme and irresistible? If not Him, you worship nothing but names which you have named, you and your fathers, for which Allah has sent down no authority. The command is for none but God. God has commanded that you worship no one but Him. That is the right religion, but most people don't know. And the words of Rumi, we say, knock and God will open the door. So please, if we are saying we are religious people, pray to God. Whatever your understanding of a God is. But don't take your Bible as a joke. Don't take your Gita as a, Bhagavad Gita as a joke. Don't take your Quran as a joke. Whatever, even if you're a traditional religious leader, remember, God is watching. Break the chain around the brain. Let's become better South Africans. I'm a victim of crime. Echoes GATVOL. Sometimes I get upset, but I don't get bitter. I'm not looking for pity. I don't want your 5 cents. I don't want 5 cents from you. I just want 5 seconds of your time. Just press subscribe. Help me get 100,000, 200,000. Get 1 million subscribers. Even if it's 1,000 initially. Step by step. I believe in the Kaizen philosophy. Ongoing quality improvement. Here is a lekker land. Put the 10 Bibles into practice. You don't have to know the whole Bible. Let's start with the 10 Commandments. So from today, every church, every government official, every newspaper, every day we must print one new commandment. So every week, all of South Africa must commandment number 1, then number 2, then number 3. So every month, 2 commandments a week. That means in a month's time, we're going through the 10 commandments. When we talk on TV, we talk about the 10 commandments. So people must stop committing crime. We can stop HIV-AIDS by stop being promiscuous. We can stop the crime and killing in this country. South Africa is a lekker land. Let's work together. Let's become religious people. Let's have fear of God, God consciousness. That is what is going to make this land a beautiful land. I'm giving you a solution. Break the chain around your brain. If you disagree with me, first wonder why is your brain in the chain? Who's put wrong thoughts into your brain? Why some people think, oh, religion is not for us. If you study religion, as I am a scientist and I'm a doctor, I studied religion, I studied evolution. For me, there's no difference between science and religion. I'm going to do a whole program between evolution and religion. I tell you, I love religion and I love science. There's no difference. Stay well. South Africa, we love you. I love South African people and I love this land. Stay well.